when the first bishop of Latin America became Pope. Right. We beatify, and he beatifies the first martyr of the Vatican II. And that's why on 23rd will come to San Salvador all bishops of Central America, all chief of states of Central America, and a lot of campesinos were linked with him. When I was there in March to announce the beatification, and I saw again the poor people visiting his tomb and speaking with him as he was alive. I was touched a lot about for this devotion. And devotion is a reality for them.
So just tell me the story, as we start here, about Archbishop Romero.
Romero, he was Archbishop. He was appointed Archbishop in 1977 in San Salvador. At the time, it was a country where few families were owner of the whole country, and the people were lived in a sort of slavery. Romero, when he arrived, immediately one priest and two campesinos were killed. Then some catechists, religious people, were disappeared or shot because they wanted to change society. Romero, at this point, realized that he was the only voice of these poor people. And during the Mass on Sunday, he decided to explain, to preach the gospel, to announce the gospel, and to denunciare, to announce the gospel and to denounce injustice, one after the other. And the leadership of the country at a certain point decided to kill him.
At the altar?
During the Mass, at the altar. And it's really a symbolic death, a symbolic martyrdom. And in this sense, Romero became the defensor pauperum who defends poor people.
And now there is a pope from Latin America who will beatify Romero.
And this pope has the same feeling. I want a poor church for the poor people. This was the attitude of Bishop Romero, Archbishop Romero. That's why now I say that Romero is a fan of Pope Francis in heaven, in cielo, heaven. Yes, I used to say, because we have to follow the dream of Pope Francis to have a world as a great family, a world in peace, a world where people, different people, are able to live in peace, in any case. Starting from the poorest, from the more feeble, the more illness, and in this way we rebuild a new world for this new millennium. Because till now You know, we see a world in a lot of conflicts. We have conflicts into families. We have conflicts in our cities. We have conflicts in our countries. We have conflicts in our world. That's why I am sure, I am convinced that we have to increase our solidarity. And that's why, on one side, people as Romero can help us to rebuild. And I think, on the other side, that we have to rediscover the dream of family. And which is the dream of family? When God created first family, gave to her the responsibility to create a lot of links. You have to generate, we have to stay together. And at the same time, the responsibility to preserve the environment. Unfortunately now, I think we lose the dream. We are self-centered. We prefer to build shack than a good palace. We prefer to stay alone than with the others. In this sense, we forget our dream, our happiness. And sometimes we prefer to build a world it's no good. And if we go on the road, on the square, in the markets, we see people is thirsty, è triste. The people is sad, is not really happy. That's why my personal engagement, my mission is to preach that we can be more happy. We can rediscover the art to live together, remain diverse among us. But this is the challenge of the contemporary world, the challenge of the church, of the policy, of the people of the economy, for the thinkers, for the scientists, how we can build a new world in peace, nonostante che siamo... Why we are diverses? It is not necessary to put away our diversities to stay in peace. This simplification, it's terrible. We have to stay diverse each other, but in peace, not in conflict.
Pope Francis' visit here to the United States for this world meeting of families, that is the message, the importance of the family.
Yes, I would emphasize one thing before. So, this is the first trip of the Pope Francis in US. He came from Latin America, from Buenos Aires, and he knew very well the mission and the vocation of the United States. And I am sure that he wants to renew the dream of the United States and the vocation of the United States for all over the world. And when I hope 1-2 million of people come to Philadelphia on Saturday and Sunday for the Mass, we stay together with a really big family. I think the Holy Father want to give to us, want to push again with their words, their example, to open again our mind, our heart, our eyes for all over the world. Starting from families who are wounded, family who suffers, family who need help. And that's why I imagine a new nuova primavera. Spring. I imagine a new spring of family in our countries and this world. You know, and all your viewers know very well that we need a new kind of society. We need a society where our children can grow up in peace, where our grandparents can live their last part of their life in peace. We need parents who can help their child, their son. We need a world where young people can build the new society. So in this sense, we have to rediscover the responsibilities of all of us. But the only condition for this new engagement is to be aware that if we remain alone, it is impossible to build our happiness and a new kind of society. The worst virus of current society is the individualism. Better, an hyper-individualism. Because not only people is individualist, but also institutions. We pieghiamo, we bend the institutions for ourselves, for each one on us. That's why the society risk to be a sort of a chaos of individuals, and not an harmonic family where all people, all persons, well, sons and fathers and mothers, where grandparents and grandchildren can stay together. And we start to learn this art during our childhood, in the family. If we don't learn in the family the solidarity, is really difficult to live in a solidaristic way when we are young, when we are adult. In this sense, family is the first school of solidarity, is the first school of society, is the first school where we learn the art of stay together in peace with our differences. This is, in my opinion, the most important message that we have to receive in Philadelphia, but I think is the lesson of every day. And parents now are really aware about the difficulties, but about the importance to stay with their son in order to help them to grow up as a really believers and citizens responsible for themselves, but also for the whole society.
So that is a message Pope Francis will bring to the United States. He has talked about the family being under attack,
Yes.
you know, from secularization, from our fast-moving society,
Yes.
technology that is pulling people apart.
Yes, you know, the life of family now living a sort of the paradoxical situation. On one side, each one of us dream family. All people in scientific research put family at the top of his desires. In reality, we saw the difficulties. We saw families wounded, broken, etc. So in this sense, there is a great cultural problem. We need to reflect again about the importance of family. And when I say family, mother, father, children, grandparents, this is the most important pillar of society. This is the real engine of society. That's why we have to defend, to support, to help, starting from the church. And the government too, and the culture too, and the economists too. So, in next October, Catholic Church celebrated a synod on the family. The Pope pushed all bishops, all Catholics, to put in the center of their attention the family. And this example, in my opinion, has to be followed by all of the others. Because if we help family, concrete families, if we are able to stay near to them, we start to rebuild a really beautiful and peaceful society. This is my great conviction. And if we follow this direction, we are able to reflect about what does it mean to be young today, with the difficulties, with the job. What does it mean to be elderly when we, fortunately, we have 20, 30 years to live. But if we are alone, 20 years of solitude is terrible. And what does it mean when a child grow up without parents who can help? If, for example, we see in the United States, in Italy too, if we visit a prison for young people, 75% of these young people came from family without father. We have to reflect about this. What does it mean, for example, great peripheric areas of our cities without culture, without solidarity, with a lot of young women with a child, without father. So in this sense, we have to reflect in this matter in order to build new and better societies.
You know this Pope very well,
Yes.
Pope Francis. What does he want to get out of his papacy? What does he want as he travels the world. He's getting a lot of attention for everything he says. He's considered a rock star by many people. What does he want out of this papacy?
The Pope wants a church who is servant of the current society, not centered in herself. He wants a church and the Christians who go out from themselves in order to help this current world, starting from the poor people, starting for the feeble people. In this sense, he is continue to receive and to welcome all people, believers and non-believers. With this point, no one has to be alone. Above all, we are more people. That's mean a church which is in Latin, proxima. You know, this Latin word is the superlative of proper. Proper means closer. Proximus means the closest. So Pope Francis was imagine a church which is the closest to poor people, the closest to poor countries, the closest to need help. In this sense, when he create a year of mercy, he would like to create a great movement of mercy towards who needs some good words, some help, some new life, some new kind of perspective, a new future. This is the main point of Pope Francis. That's why he doesn't love great structures, great institutions, a power of money, no. He wants a sort of the simple people who are able to stay near, who need to be helped. And this is my dream too. The Pope captured me too. And I hope all bishops, all Christians all over the world. And in this sense, is the most important spiritual leader in the contemporary society. And yet to be aware, because he helped us to rediscover the strength of spirituality. He helped us to bridge our heart and the real contemporary world. In this sense, we could say Pope Francis, the highest spiritual man, in a certain sense, the highest political man. Because he shows to us that if we are a really good man, good woman, good believers, good, honest men, we can change this world with this strength. The most important power we have to rediscover this is the faith, is the honesty, is the will to live not only for ourselves, but for the others.
And that's the message he brings to the U.S. come September.
Absolutely, absolutely. The Pope knows very well this, and I am sure that the United States will understand, and that the Pope understands the United States, and both can help this contemporary world in order to go ahead in the peace, in the prosperity too, and in love above all.
Archbishop, thank you so much for the time.
Thanks for your friendship, and I hope that your job, your mission continue, because the broadcast is really important for our message.